Now let's join our palms, and together we invite His Holiness for precious Buddha Dharma teaching. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming, to Master Sakya Dzogchen, homage to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, and homage to Master Thupten Dorje. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice today, Mahachundi Buddha Mother. Dharma assistants, temple directors, all disciples present here and over the internet, and our guest of honor today from the Republic of China, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, North American Coordination Council, Secretary General Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy. Accountant to the True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa. Attorney to the True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Jennifer Zhou. Dr. Ryan Zhuang. Dr. Huang. And from Hong Kong, Dr. Huang Zi. Producers for the Geni Densang Xinten from CTI TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi. Dr. Zhou. Good evening, everyone. How do you do? Cantonese. Thank you for your attendance this evening.
See you tomorrow. Tomorrow Sunday afternoon 3 o'clock have the fire opening. The room for Leizang Temple. 今天我们是修这个准提功。So
today we perform Mahachundi Buddha Mother practice. And as you know, I have told this before, one of my refuge guru was Master Pufang, and he practiced Mahachundi Buddha Mother. And Mahachundi was from the family of Guan Yin Lokeswara Bodhisattva. And on the screen there was the picture of Master Pufang. So what is shown on the monitor is Master Pu Fang. And his temple was called the Jundi Temple in Xia, Taipei, Taiwan. And the temple was also called the General Temple because Mahajundi's mudra is very special because prior to forming any other mudras, the first mudra that would be formed is this. So prior to any of us performing mudra transformation, the first mudra would be this. And this mudra is called the complete or general mudra. So in Tantrayana, it has the meaning of completeness or totality, whether it is Tibetan Tantrayana, Japanese Tantrayana, Chinese Tantrayana, or local Taiwanese Tantrayana. Local meaning local to Taiwan. So in the past, when people refer to Tantric Buddhism, they referred to Tibetan Buddhism. But during the Tang Dynasty, it was also transmitted to China, and it was called the Tang Dynasty or Tang Tantrayana. And it was transmitted by 3 Indian monks, Vajrabodhi, so Tantrayana in Tibet is called Tibetan Tantrayana. In China, it's called the Tang Dynasty Tantrayana. In Japan, Japanese Tantrayana or Eastern Tantrayana. Or Tian Tai, to Mount Tian Tai would be the Thai Tantrayana. But in Japan, there was also a Tantric Buddhism that's being transmitted from Mount Tian Tai by a Japanese monk. It's also called the Tian Tai Tantrayana. But there's another Tantrayana in Japan that was transmitted by Kukai or Kobudashi. When Kobudashi went to the Green Dragon Temple, learning from the Huiguo, the old Venerable monk Huiguo. So that's the Shingon Tantrayana. So there are 2 schools of Tantrayana in Japan. One from the Tang Dynasty and the other one from Mount Tian Tai. And then there's also the local Tantrayana, which is in Taiwan, and that's Buddha school. So this mudra is called the general or complete mudra. So all the mudras of Buddha Dharma is in here. So this mudra has a secret. So at the center, it's like Mount Meru. And then at the center, that's like 1 yin and 1 yang. And then the two fingers are like a universe And the universe is the completeness, which means all Buddha Dharma is in here. So Tantrayana is also called the complete or so the temple is also called the Dzogchen temple, or the general or complete temple, that everywhere in the temple were Mahachundi Buddha Mother. So Mahachundi Buddha Mother is really great. So you can have Mahachundi as your yidam, personal deity, or as your protector. She has great power. She has 18 arms holding all kinds of Dharma implements. She has everything. So you can treat her as your yidam or as your protector. So if you practice Mahachundi, there's no need for you to ask who your protector would be, because she would be both your yidam and protector. So now let's continue to talk about the Great Perfection Dharma. This is how I'd explain Vajrapani Bodhisattva. Vajrapani Bodhisattva is the foremost Dharma prince of all Tathagatas. And he is the bodhicitta of all Tathagatas of the 3 times in all 10 directions. He is also the supreme ruler, master, or chief of the secrets of Tathagatas. He is the authoritative manifestation of the secret Vajra holder. So what this part means is talking about Zongci, which is the totality, the completeness, the general, or the chief or head. That would be Vajrasattva. And as I have said, Vajrapani represents the power, Dharma power. In Tibetan Tantrayana, the 3 principles would be Manjushri Bodhisattva. It's the principle for wisdom. For wisdom, you need to rely on Manjushri Bodhisattva, the principal reliance. And for compassion, that would be Avalokitesvara Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. She represents or symbolizes compassion. So she is your principal reliance for compassion, because every spiritual cultivator should have compassion. Otherwise, you would not be called cultivator. And everyone needs to have wisdom. Because you need to have wisdom in order to study Buddha Dharma. And Buddha Dharma is wisdom, and wisdom is Buddha Dharma. So we need to learn the wisdom of the Tathagata. So the principal reliance for wisdom is Manjushri Bodhisattva. For compassion is Lokeswara Bodhisattva. And the principal reliance for Dharma power, which is the power generated by the Dharma in Tantrayana, that's Vajrapani Bodhisattva or Vajrahan Bodhisattva. So in Tantrayana, the three principal reliances would be this: wisdom, compassion, and Dharma power. And when your Dharma power increases, you can also arrive at the Buddha land and can also attain Buddhahood directly. And the first one who appeared to teach Tantrayana is Vajrasattva, and he has three forms. One is Vajrasattva, Vajra heart, and Vajra hand. These three deities were originally united. And in my opinion, Vajrasattva symbolizes the body. Vajra heart represents the bodhicitta, or the enlightened mind. The Vajra heart, the Buddha nature that's immutable, the immutable Buddha nature. And third would be Vajrapani, or Vajra hand, symbolizes the mind or the thoughts that's the power that's generated from the compassionate and wisdom practices. So now you can understand who Vajrapani or Vajrahan Bodhisattva is. He is the first and foremost Dharma prince of all Buddhas. Because when Vajrasattva appears, that means all these three deities appear together. When Vajrapani went to the South India to open the Iron Gate and met Vajrasattva and was transmitted the tantric Dharma. So Nagarjuna was considered as the founder or pioneer of the tantric Buddhism or Tantrayana. So Vajrasattva, Vajra heart or Vajra hand, was the first one who transmitted the Dharma, the tantric Dharma. And great perfection Dharma was transmitted by the Tathagata to the Vajrapani Bodhisattva. And then was transmitted to Kunga Ningpo, the heavenly prince, and then to Prahevajra Karapdorje, and then to Manjusri Mitra, and then to Sri Simha, and then to Guru Padmasambhava, and then to Ishi Chokal and King Trizong Dzogchen. That's how the lineage of the Great Perfection Dharma is. So Vajrapani Bodhisattva is also the chief, or the totality, or the general, which is this mudra of all the universe. The elderlies would have a bad memory. I only remember Buddha Dharma and I don't remember everything else. There are 4 elderly ladies playing mahjong, and one of them went to the bathroom and then she forgot that she was playing mahjong, and then she went home after she used the bathroom. And the other 3 ladies were waiting for a long time for her to come back. She went to the bathroom, and where is she? So they thought about calling her. But these three ladies couldn't remember who that was, who the lady was that left for the bathroom. Maybe I would be like that too in the future. Grandmaster is so forgetful about a lot of things. But I cannot forget about Buddha Dharma, but I forget about everything else. That would be troublesome. I often told you that I often forget when I take vitamins. The doctors prescribe me to take what kind of vitamins or supplements. And after breakfast, I would take my vitamins. And I've told you this before. And after taking them, I don't remember. And then I would ask Master Lian Xiang, did you see me taking the vitamins? I asked her, and then she said she didn't pay attention. So did I take them or not? So a lot of disciples hearing this, they told me some methods. You can write on a card, I have eaten them or not yet. If you have taken them, then turn the card. But I told the disciple, but I forgot to turn the card. So there are many disciples that bought boxes that Monday till Sunday. Like pill boxes. You know how many of them I got? Over 10 pill boxes. Lots of them. And I don't know where I put them. Sometimes I still forget. Which boxes? Where are my vitamins? In which box? So people's memory get worse as we grow older. We say that at 50, you're strong. At 60s, your blood pressure rises. At 70s, you are forgetful sometimes, but for Grandmaster, forgetful most of the time. But for Buddha Dharma, I still remember very clearly, like the lineage gurus. Like the lineage for Master Thubten Tarji, very simple. The living Buddha Kanzu from Mongolia was the lineage guru from Master Thubten Tarji. And living Buddha Kanzu transmitted to Master Thubten Nima during the Ching dynasty. And he translated lots of sutras. That's Master Thubten Nima, who transmitted to Master Thubten Tali. And Thubten Tali transmitted to Thubten Tarji. And Thubten Tarji transmitted to Thubten Chimo. That's my Dharma name in this lineage, Thubten Chimo. And now, in the Tupten school, I have a lineage holder, my successor, that I will teach Tantric Dharma is Tupten city. So that's the lineage. People outside say Sengyen Lu has no lineage. How could that be? That's a joke. Of course, Grandmaster has lineage. Living Buddha Ganzu, Tupten Lima, Tupten Tali, Tupten Tarchi, Tupten Chimo, Tupten City. How come there's no lineage? Of course there is lineage. So we need to remember our lineages. That in the future, when you ask, who is your guru? Oh, my lineage is this. From the Tupten school is this lineage. And the lineage from the Karmapa, the 16 Dharma King Karmapa. And from the Dzogchen Rinpoche, the lineage from Master Sakya Zengkong or the Dzogchen Rinpoche. And also the lineage from Master Pufang. And the lineage from the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming, that's for the Nyingma-pa. The Great Perfection Dharma also has a lineage from the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming. He held the lineage from Master Lona from Nyingma-pa. So from Master Lona to the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming to Grandmaster in the Nyingma-pa. But outside, they say as they like. But don't listen to them. Just listen to Grandmaster. You all have proper lineages. So Vajrapani Bodhisattva is the first lineage holder after the Adi Buddha, Samantabhadra Tathagata. That's the lineage holder for Great Perfection Dharma. And Adi Buddha, and then Vajrasattva, Vajrahand, Vajraheart Bodhisattva are the lineage gurus or the patriarch lineage holders. They're all meaningful. Like when a woman says that she has no clothes to wear, that means that she has no new clothes to wear. It's not that she has no clothes to wear at all. Then that would be problematic. But when a man says that he has no clothes to wear, that means he has no clean clothes to wear. So that's the meanings behind it. So talking about Vajrapani Bodhisattva, we want to talk about the meanings behind it. That Vajrapani is bodhicitta, is the chief or the supreme general ruler, and he is the transmitter of all the Tantric Dharma. And at the time when Sakyamuni Buddha made prediction, it was Vajrapani Bodhisattva who was mentioned. So it was Vajrapani Bodhisattva who received the most supreme mystic profundity, the utmost secrets. At the time of Sakyamuni Buddha's parinirvana, he said, "From now on, I will not appear in the human world any longer. 28 years later, in the 33 heavens, there would be supreme teachings that would be prevalent. That would be the dissemination of the great perfection Dharma. Also, in the eastern corner of the Jambudvipa continent, there would be a country where the great perfection Dharma will be widespread. And the master of the Lanka Dharma transmitter is Vajrapani Bodhisattva's emanation. That was spoken by Sakyamuni Buddha, his prediction. And Sakyamuni Buddha also made prediction of Grandmaster. Actually, Sakyamuni Buddha made prediction for each of his disciples. When the Buddha at the Dipamkara Buddha, and the Dipamkara Buddha predicted that in the future you would become a Buddha and called Sakyamuni Buddha. So Dipamkara Buddha also predicted a Buddha called the San Hui. At that time he was called the San Hui youth, and said that in the future you would attain Buddhahood called Sakyamuni Buddha. And Sakyamuni Buddha also made prediction of his disciples. To Sariputra, he said that in the future you would become the lotus light Buddha. And also to Devadatta, who betrayed him in the future, even then, in the future, you would also attain Buddhahood and call the Heavenly King Buddha. So even the one who betrayed him was predicted to become a Buddha. So everybody could not understand. There were 8 princes that followed Sakyamuni Buddha to become monks. And Devadatta was his closest or best younger brother, like cousins, younger cousin. You know, the king, this is like in India, Sakyamuni's father was called the King Siddhartha. This is the transliteration. King Suchandra. King Suddhodana. Sakyamuni's father was King Suddhodana, and then his other sons, all the different princes or kings, all different names. So we could call them Sakyamuni Buddha's brothers. And Devadatta was an attendant to Sakyamuni Buddha for a very long time. But he wanted to gain the leadership of the Sangha, and he said, Sakyamuni Buddha, you're old, I'm young. It's my turn to become the leader. And Devadatta was very arrogant and proud. And he wore Sakyamuni Buddha's robe. And Devadatta climbed on Sakyamuni Buddha's seats or thrones. He was just Buddha's attendant, but he was wearing and sitting on the Buddha's seat. So the Sangha group was divided into two groups, one led by Sakyamuni Buddha, another by Devadatta. And then he betrayed and turned his back on the Buddha. Even the betrayer like that could still become a Buddha in the future. And it is true. Maybe you're puzzled why the betrayed disciple could still become a Buddha in the future, because there is a secret meaning in here. Because every being embodies Buddha nature, and we were inherently Buddha. That in this human world is just a phenomena for you to cultivate spiritually. Whether you go up or down, your Buddha nature is still there, and you are inherently, innately a Buddha. So many people could not understand, why do you still predict a betrayer, a disciple to become a Buddha? Well, it's true, but maybe he would become a Buddha a little bit later. So, because you have to suffer the retribution of whatever you have done, of your actions. So, because you betrayed Sakyamuni Buddha, you have to fall into hell to suffer the miserable retribution, and then after that is being completed, then he could rise again, and in the future he could become a Buddha. When I went to California, LA, to the Wei Guang temple, I have said that this name, Wei Guang, the majestic light, is a very good name. So the name Wei Guang Buddha, or the Buddha of majestic light, I bestowed to Master Lian Jie, Master Allen, the ex-Master Allen. So he felt that he was really great. So did I do the right thing? Yes. Because it has a profound meaning in this. Because of what he did in this life, he had to suffer the retribution in the future. But who knows, maybe from his sufferings, he would be able to realize his Buddha nature, and in the distant future, he could still become the Buddha of majestic light. So there's nothing wrong with the prediction. So Sakyamuni Buddha predicted that Devadatta would become the Buddha of the Heaven King. And the living Buddha Lian Sheng predicted Master Allen Lian Jie to become the Buddha of majestic light in the future. Nothing wrong with that. But you still have to suffer the retributions of whatever you do. But when in the future, through your sufferings, you see your own Buddha nature, then you could still attain Buddhahood. That's the profound meaning. This could only be understood by Chinese speakers. an American foreign student asked a Chinese, so is it playing martial arts most important? And the Chinese said no, but the American foreign student said no, but when I want to date a girl, she always say that, oh, when I have kung fu, then I'll go. But actually what it means is when I have, when I'm into it, I'll go. It's different. So please don't misunderstand. Like if you have time. So every one of us has some mastery. We have Buddha nature. Each one of us has Buddha nature, and each one of us was originally Buddha. Doesn't matter in your reincarnations, in each of your lifetime. Doesn't matter how your lives after lives are. Like Sakyamuni Buddha doesn't attain Buddhahood in one lifetime. He has to go through 500 lifetimes to eventually become a Buddha. Of these 500 lifetimes, he had gone to hell. He had been in the animal realms. And Sakyamuni Buddha was most often in hell. He had fallen to hell, and he had been born as animals, as wild beasts. The king of the elephants, that was Sakyamuni Buddha. He had been an elephant. Sakyamuni Buddha was also a monkey. Was once a monkey. Sakyamuni Buddha was once a deer. Like the buckhorn for Chinese is the best thing. Deer horn. So the deer horn is price. It's very. It's a good tonic, very tonifying. There is an herb called the Gui Lu, which is the tortoise shell, which is a very cold in terms of its property, and the deer horn, which is a very hot, that has hot property, and combined together. Look at this chief or general mudra. One is cold and one is hot. So this is the totality mudra. One yin, one yang, one Mount Meru dividing into yin and yang. The tortoise shell is yin and the deer horn is yang, combined together. For man, 2/3 deer horn and 1/3 tortoise shell. For woman, 2/3 tortoise shell and 1/3 deer horn. Is that so? Dr. Zhou? That's about right. It's very interesting between yin, yang, cold and hot. That's all the phenomena of the world. Day and night, that's yin and yang. Yang is daytime and yin is nighttime. So when you see ghosts at night, you would be scared, and the ghosts think that you scare me. So at night, for the ghosts to appear, it's normal. And for human beings to appear in the daytime, that's normal. But in the middle of the night, the human being is running all over, then you would scare the ghost. So actually the human beings that's breaching on the ghosts. So the human beings now is invading on the ghost territory. And look at all the cemeteries now being taken down to build buildings. So they have no place to stay anymore. So human beings are really bad. Ghosts are kinder. So that's a profound meaning behind this. A girl is in a bad mood and because she's often ridiculed to be too fat, and she found no meaning in life. So I told her, well, of course, sometimes there would be adversities in life. When you are facing these challenges and ridicules, please, you need to look the other way. Why don't we think about it kneeling down? But she couldn't kneel down because she's too fat. So fat lady can be scary. There's this joke that Chinese often say that whether we have money or not, it'll be nice to have a wife for this New Year. And then next to him there was a girl that said, well, why don't you marry me? And he took a look and she's really big, really huge, like a dinosaur. So he said, oh, I'd rather not have a New Year this year. That's just a joke, because the dinosaur lady can be shocking. So we need to exercise, every one of us. We need to train our muscles to be strong, to be healthy, to eat just right, not too much, and lower your calorie intake, and you need to spend your calories. Then you would always be young and beautiful like Simu. So the first Dharma prince of the Tathagata is Vajrapani Bodhisattva. So he's also the supreme ruler of all the Tathagatas. So what does this mean? The supreme chief is that he is above us and always empower and bless us so that we can continually increase our bodhicitta, our wisdom, our compassion. If your compassionate heart appears, then you have the foundation of your spiritual cultivation. And on top of it, if you have the great wisdom, then you would gain enlightenment right away. And then on top of this, you generate Dharma power. Together with the Buddha Nidya, you can attain Buddhahood directly. So he is the supreme, he is the rising ruler or chief. So you need to go up You have to rise, not fall, not go down, because you don't want to go to hell or the animal realms. Sakyamuni Buddha has written a lot that in his bodhisattvahood, he had gone to hell and animal realms, but finally he attained Buddhahood. So the power that he gained was the power to always go up, to always rise. That's very important. So he is the authoritative manifestation of the secret Vajra holder. The secret Vajra holder means that he upholds all the profound secrets of the mystic profundity of all tantric dharma. And he transmitted all this tantric dharma which you can rely on in your spiritual cultivation. Actually, I have spoken on this mystic profundity that every one of us is a Buddha, that in the future each one of us can become a Buddha, will become a Buddha. So Sakyamuni Buddha predicted Sariputra that in the future when you become a Buddha, you would be called the Buddha of Lotus Light. And in this lifetime, Sakyamuni Buddha also gave me the name, the Lotus Light, or Lotus Light Self-Mastery Buddha. Is the same, actually, because Tathagata is always has self-mastery. So it's the same. So self-mastery Lotus Light Buddha is the same as the Lotus Light Buddha. So even after reincarnations, as I said, in the solitary Hyori group, the one with the most wisdom is Sariputra. In Mahayana Buddhism, the one with the most wisdom is Manjusri Bodhisattva. But in Sravaka Buddhahood, the one with most wisdom is Sariputra, and Grandmaster is a reincarnation after many lifetimes of Sariputra. So many lifetimes ago, Grandmaster was Sariputra. So there are lots of marvelous things happening, and Grandmaster also comprehends this mystic profundity. So by knowing and able to apply it in spiritual cultivation, that's called spiritual cultivation. So knowing it and being able to apply it called spiritual cultivation. So let me share this joke to end the talk today, the Dharma teaching today. Recently, there are lots of news in Taiwan about the toxic oils and toxic flour. Oils that's made from the used oils or chemical oils, and poisonous oil and poisonous flour. So some starch of flour that's poisonous. So this lady that eats some buns at the snack shop, and she took a silver needle to try if there's any poison in it. And at the tip of the needle, it became black. And then she told the shopkeeper, the bun is poisonous. And all the customers in the shop were very quiet. And the shopkeeper came out and shouted, curse, curse, curse. But this is a black sesame bun. Because the bun has black sesame seed, of course the needle is black. So what I mean by sharing this joke is that every one of us has Buddha nature. Whether you have pure body or toxic body. So what I mean is if you have lots of bad karma, that means like you're poisonous body. If you cultivate until you're purified, then you're quite pure. But if you have violated the 5 basic precepts, killing, stealing, lying, sexual misconduct, and drinking, so you breach all kinds of precepts, then you're like a poisonous body. So whether it's poisonous bun or clean, good bun, the profound meaning is that in the future, they all would become Buddhas. However, first you need to eradicate your own karma bit by bit. And after you eradicate your karma until your body, speech, and mind are pure, then you would become a Buddha naturally. So the chief totality of Tantrayana is very simple, is to purify all the karma. In Tripada Sutra, it's written that the pure body, pure mind, and pure speech. And naturally, you would be in the realm of no thoughts. And then in the realm of no thought, you would attain Buddhahood.